So I want to tell y'all about a dream that God gave me some years ago. But first I'm going to give you the backstory, or else the dream won't really make much sense or be without context. So I have two children. My first child passed away at 2 months old from SIDS. My second child I had 2 years later. They're both boys. Well, as my second child was growing up, I had like tons of pictures. Actually, I'm gonna go straight. I had tons of pictures of my first child in a photo album, and on a wall, on tables and stuff like that. Well, he had tore up the pictures. He was tearing them up anyway, and I came and seen what he was doing, and I had a total meltdown. I flipped out. I was crying. I was hysterical. I was yelling. And, I was telling him, like, don't ever touch my son pictures again. Don't touch his stuff. And I, grabbed all the pictures up. I ran to my room, and I just broke down crying. All right. Well, as some time had went on, I would, to make comments to my son when, he'd be playing or we'd be out doing stuff. And I'd just be like, oh, and I wish your brother was here. And he was taking it out of context. I was meaning it in the sense of, I just wish I had both my boys. This is one of those moments I wish y'all was together. Y'all was with each other. I was with y'all, raising, parenting y'all. As he got older, he had stated to me, like, I think that you wish my brother was here in place of me. Which was not at all the case. I love both of my sons so very much. And one didn't take from the other. When I found out I was pregnant with my first one, and when I had him, I was in love with him. When I found out I was pregnant with my second one, I had him, I was in love with him. I never looked at it as, oh, this child is replacing the other or anything like that. Well, after then, God had gave me a dream. In the dream, I had both my children. Jacob, of course, was running around. He was playing and everything like that. We was outside. I was with my mother and my sister, and I was holding my deceased baby in my arms. And, he's wrapped up because he was still the age that he was when he passed away 2 months inside the dream. Even though my other son, which is actually 2 years younger than him, he was the age that he is. In the dream, he was deceased. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen a deceased baby before, but he was deceased. He looked deceased, and in the blankets that I had him wrapped in, I was literally trying to hold and keep him together. And I was just acting like this was normal. I was even telling my sister and my mom, showing him the baby, showing them the baby, and saying how handsome he was and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, my little baby and all this, while he was deceased. So in the dream, like, an earthquake had broke out. It was bad weather and stuff, and I had to protect my baby. So I'm holding the one and trying to keep him together, and while my other child was out playing, and I was trying to run to get to him while all of this was taking place, but I couldn't. Me holding the dead baby was holding me back and keeping me down from being able to actually run and get to the other one to make sure he was safe. So I had to make a decision, and literally, like, in the dream, I was making a decision, like, I can't save both of them. So I dropped the baby, the deceased one, and I ran to my living child and, cradled him and tried to protect him. Well, and that was the end of that dream. Well, it was God letting me know that there's no way that I can fully and completely care for, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, my living child if I'm holding on to the deceased and not letting the deceased rest. I need to be focused on the living so that he can have all of me and all that he needs, because there's no way that you can be stuck holding something in the past or not letting go of something in the past and at the same time nurture the future. And it was really eye-opening. I'm glad that God shared that with me, because I totally understood. God has given me plenty of dreams, and some, I've understood right off the bat. Others, it has taken me a while. That was one of the ones where I understood what that dream meant. And I was just thinking I should share because it can help someone else, whether you have a deceased child that you're having a hard time letting go of, or whether it's a death in a different type of way, such as a marriage dissolving, a divorce. That could be a death, right? Well, that technically is somewhat of a death. Children growing up, going off to college, or getting married. That somewhat is a death because it's a death of one form of the relationship as it has to mature and evolve to something else. And sometimes we as people cannot let go or accept that death, and then we ignore other stuff around us trying to hold on and keep something that is meant to be let go at that time. So you may have younger children and you have an older child going off to college, going off married, or a teenager. They got a new sense of independence, and you want to try and keep them, your little baby, or the relationship where it was, and not accepting the growth, while at the same time ignoring the smaller children, trying to do that and neglecting them. So I just wanted to share that because I felt that it could not only help with mothers or people who are dealing with the death of a child, but also dealing with the death of a phase, a stage in life, and not letting that go, because it keeps you from nurturing what's ahead and what is now. And that's all. Bye.